Hi culés, Barcelona lost El Clásico and it's time to understand what went wrong. From Lamine's pre-match comments to the key mistakes that shaped what happened at the Santiago Bernabéu, there's a lot to unpack. Support this video with a like if you still believe in this team. Better days are coming and this loss will teach important lessons. Let's get into it. Details decide everything. Before the match, we made a preview where we discussed some tactical points, and Hansi Flick made several choices that shaped an unfortunate scenario for Barcelona. The first one I'd like to talk about is Koundé. The French defender missed 2 training sessions before El Clásico and hasn't shown last season's level throughout this campaign. It's obvious he wasn't in optimal condition. Before the match, there were reports suggesting that Ronald Araujo should have been in the starting lineup. There were several integration options for the Uruguayan in the starting 11. Option number 1, an antidote against Vinícius. Junior brilliantly performed against Koundé in this match. In my opinion, Ronald is in better physical shape right now and could have handled him more effectively. Option number 2, Eric on the right in defense. Araujo paired with Koundé. Both setups would have made more sense for this particular match. That became clear after Ronald came on, showing much better resistance against Madrid's fast counterattacks. Just look at the 80th minute, when he managed to block Mbappe's shot even though Kylian had a few meters head start. Person number 2, Ferran Torres. Starting from the first minute, he was prepared specifically for El Clásico, but it was obvious that he was only at half capacity. He lacked sharpness, pace, and strength. Hansi Flick and his coaching staff wanted to put maximum pressure on Real, but starting Ferran turned out to be a mistake. He wasn't ready to give the team the workload he usually provides when he's 100% fit. The substitution of Marcus in the 74th minute made Barcelona more balanced. Pedri and Frankie got more freedom up front, and that immediately improved the team's ball circulation as Madrid's pressing intensity dropped. Barca became more reliable, so the question is why Flick chose such an aggressive game plan when he didn't have the full set of players ready to execute it properly. The same logic applies to Raphinha's case. The medical staff rushed his recovery and the Brazilian got injured again after just 1 training session. The length of his recovery is still unknown, and that's another serious setback. The situation with the squad is tough, but far from hopeless. Ronnie Bardghji is showing clear progress, and both Pedro and Toni Fernandes are ready to step up. Barcelona has promising options that can give the key players the time they need to recover fully. These 3 stories explain what's really happening at Barcelona right now, and why the performance looked so poor. The first half told the whole story. Real Madrid looked far stronger even though Barcelona had the territorial advantage. As Arsene Wenger said after the match, Real looked like a team that could score at any moment. And it's hard to argue with that. Barcelona lacked aggression in attack. The duels weren't intense enough, and the team missed that explosive energy that created last year's miracle at the same stadium. This time, the picture was very different. Ferran was only about halfway ready. Lamine was around 60%, and Rashford, the most consistent attacker this season, was the one who set up Firmino's goal. Even Lopez couldn't reach his usual level. Yes, the team gave everything on the pitch, but too many functional problems led to a situation where by late October, the team already looks exhausted, as if it has played the entire season and is squeezing out its last reserves. While Hansi Flick may have overestimated the condition of certain players, it's fair to admit that Xabi Alonso prepared his team better. As hard as that is to say, Real Madrid's tactical plan was sharper. I was especially impressed by Camavinga's role. He effectively covered the weakness on the right side where Valverde was forced to play out of position. When defending, Eduardo acted as a right midfielder, giving Bellingham more freedom while tightening Madrid's defensive shape. That setup forced Barcelona to break through several layers of resistance. First, Vinícius, Mbappé and Bellingham, then Tchouaméni and Culés, and finally the back line of Valverde, Militao, Huijsen, and Carreras. Camavinga's positioning also neutralized Balde's attacking impact, removing one of Barcelona's main weapons in this game. During the first half, when Real were at their most dominant, quick transitions into attack were nearly impossible. The pressing was constant, and it was clear that Flick staff weren't fully prepared for Madrid's defensive model with Camavinga involved. Xabi Alonso clearly studied the losses to PSG in the summer and Atletico more recently. He drew his conclusions and built a more balanced team. Flick, on the other hand, ended up unbalancing his own side. The tactical preparation didn't look top level. There were no surprises for Madrid, even though the tools were there despite the personal problems. Take Lamine Yamal, for example. Many point out that the 18-year-old is still dealing with an injury, which explains why he isn't playing at full intensity. That's an important factor. It's visible that he's holding back a little, and that's understandable. But it raises a fair question. Is the coaching staff using this limited version of Lamine in the right way? In the second half, Lamine started appearing more in the center. His best moment came from that position, the potential assist to Koundé in the 89th minute. That action came when he played as a false nine, but for most of the match, Álvaro Carrera stayed on him, pressing constantly and leaving him almost no space. Now, imagine the setup with Yamal as a false nine, Rashford on the left and Firmino on the right, with Ronnie and Ferran as bench options. That could create an entirely different game and a much more unpredictable plan for Alonso and his team. I'm paying so much attention to the coaching decisions for a reason. We can talk about some controversial refereeing moments. Yes, Real's second goal came with a potential foul from Huijsen, who used his elbow against Koundé and affected the play. Yes, that's possible refereeing mistake, but the defeat was deserved. Madrid played better and Wojciech Szczesny was the only reason Barcelona stayed in the match. He's at the stage of his career where he could already be thinking about retirement, but he continues to step up whenever the team needs him, especially in the absence of Ter Stegen and Joan Garcia. The bigger problem right now is flexibility, or rather the lack of it. Barcelona needs to take a more honest look at itself. Self-criticism is what's missing, and that starts with the coaching staff. The team shouldn't be playing at full throttle when key players aren't ready, especially without a fully fit Raphinha. Everyone saw it. He's the real leader of this attack, the soul of the team, the player who gives everything for the shirt. Raphinha is still the heartbeat of Barcelona. This season, Barcelona needs to take one step back to take two forward later. Look at PSG as an example. They were far from convincing at the start of last year, but managed to rebuild, rethink their structure, and finish strong. And there's one more important aspect, the same one that opened this review. Lamine Yamal's attitude before the match. Frankie defended him after the game and he was right to do so, but one of the key moments that could shape this entire season is Lamine's ability to look inward and reset. What worked last year when he was on a mission isn't working now. Right now, he's like a red flag for opponents. Every defender switches into overdrive when they see Lamine on the ball. Maybe it's time to step out of the spotlight for a while and focus quietly on improvement, just like Raphinha has always done. Extra attention isn't what he needs now. Remember how Ousmane Dembélé turned things around and ended up winning the Ballon d'Or? He did it by resetting completely and rethinking his priorities. Lamine has all the talent to be number one, but at the moment he's following the path of Neymar. It's hard to admit, but this could be a decisive moment in his career. Either the priority is Kings League, Nicky Nicole, friends, and Instagram posts, or football. The decision is his. He's a smart guy, and maybe it's also time for Hansi Flick to look a bit closer at what's going on in the life of his main star. As for Pedri's red card, there's no reason to be upset. He'll finally get some rest against Elche, and players like Casado and Bernal will have their chance to step up. And one more thing. On the 25th of October 2024, the CULES channel released its very first video. Since then, this community has grown into something really special, and it means a lot to me and to my team. So thank you for being here, for supporting this project, and for sharing the same emotions through every high and every low. Thank you. I know losing in Clásico hurts, but it's still only the first chapter of the season. The team can recover, learn from this, and reach a new level by December or January. For now, the best thing fans can do is stay united and believe in better days. Leave a like, download the Barcelona Live app to keep up with every update, and subscribe to the channel. You're the reason this project exists. Thank you for being here, for your energy, and for your faith. That's it for today. Thank you. Bye. The first half told the whole story. Real Madrid looked far stronger, even though Barcelona had this. You're the reason this project exists. Thank you for being here. You're the reason this project exists. Thank you for being here, for your energy, and for your faith.